Welcome back, toy fans, to episode 175 of Reynolds Reviews. On today's episode, we've got a gift box from Mark Lorenzi. Cue the march. Welcome back, everyone. Now, like I said in the intro, today we're going to take a look at a gift box sent from Mark Lorenzi all the way from the US. Now, you may recognise Mark's name. You will often see him in the comments on all my videos. And Mark was actually the very first subscriber to the channel. Now, myself and Mark started talking even before the channel was created. I was in the live chat on a Retro Blasting live stream once, and myself and Mark started talking. I was telling him that I'm thinking of creating a channel. He explained to me that he was a viewer and the kind of things he liked to watch. And once my first video dropped, he was the first person to it. And he has been a subscriber and viewer of the channel ever since then. So, Mark, thank you so much for supporting me and sticking with the channel for 3 years now. Even when the content was extremely ropey, you've been there and you've stuck with us ever since. So thank you so much. I just want to say that before we carry on. But Mark has been very generous and sent us a gift box. So let's go see what he's been generous enough to send us.
Okay, folks, here we go. So let's see what Mark has been kind enough to send us. Okay, so we've got a note. Let's just take a quick look. Okay, so the note reads, "Hey Luke, I know you said don't get you anything, but too bad." Thank you, Mark. You redeemed a memory and made it possible to have a grail item that I had long since given up on. Now, to give you some context on that, the mask Switchblade was a grail item of Mark's. Like I said in a video a few weeks ago, grails don't need to be rare or expensive. Sometimes they're just things that have slipped through your fingers, and Mark has never managed to obtain a Switchblade from childhood, and I managed to do that for him. Myself and VTR Dave, as well as a few other friends of the channel, managed to piece one together and send it to Mark last year. So just to give you some context behind that, I will leave a link to the video that gives you more details about that in the description. You and VTR are true friends and mentions. Well, thank you, Mark. I do appreciate that. So, to get on your nerves and disregard your insistence to not get you anything, I present you with this mishmash of goodies. Well, thank you, Mark. I did insist, obviously, you don't reciprocate, but very, very generous of you. Till then, keep collecting and cue the march. P.S. That's the new logo from our podcast. Now, Mark runs a podcast. Myself and VTR Dave did appear on that podcast a couple of years ago now. If you like your podcast, check it out. Again, I will leave a link in the description. The logo you have is the Marty McFly from Malady Classic. Stay sick, sicky, Mark Lorenzi. PSS, try the gum. Right, try the gum, okay. I'm sure that'll make sense in a second. But thank you, Mark, very generous. I'm going to put that in my box of notes. Very important that I keep all those. Okay, so let's see what Mark sent us. Right, so we've got some Dinosaurs Attack wax pack. So that will be the gum, 5 cards, 1 sticker and 1 stick of bubble gum. And they are from 1988, so 35-year-old gum. Not sure I'm going to try those, Mark, but but I might do. Okay, so what else have we got? Oh, we have got... Oh, there's something wrapped up in there as well. Let's just... Right, let's be careful. So we've got a T-shirt. Oh, look at that. So, Sci Fi Malady. Catch the Sickness. So, again, that is Mark's podcast. Look at that. How cool is that? So, we've got the hoverboard there. We've got a face hugger. We've got a lightsaber. A mishmash of different vintage goodness for us. Things that we all enjoyed. Franchises we all enjoyed. That is cool. Definitely going to pop that on for the next video. Wow, that's awesome. Now, we've got something wrapped up here. Let's just see if I can be careful and open this. Oh, wow. Look at that. Wow. An Empire Strikes Back glass. And that looks like... Yeah, that's a vintage glass. Coca-Cola. So is the year on that? 1980. Oh, Burger King. Oh, how cool is that? So these are what you got from Burger King. 1980. Look at that on the front. How awesome is that? And I've noticed there is something rattling around inside. If ever you're going to send Reynolds Reviews a gift, you send a Luke Bespin as well. Awesome. Oh, Mark, thank you. He looks in awesome shape. Okay, we are going to take a closer look at everything. I'm just going to get everything out, folks. So we've got more stuff. Oh, look. Now, I have said in previous videos now that I'm no longer on the modern. I am going to pick up still some modern stuff, but I'm no longer chasing modern lines. And Moto Origins is one of those lines I've sort of eased off now, purely because it's just never ending, and I'm only really interested in the figures that I recognise. But one notable absentee from my collection is Hordak. Wow, he's awesome, Mark. Thank you so much. He is definitely going to go very nice on the Origins shelf. But I think there is one more thing. There we go. Oh, look. Wow. So that... Oh, it is. So this is a #1 first issue DC mass comic. This is the US version. I am collecting the UK versions, but I don't have any of these. Wow. That is awesome. Oh, my God, Mark. That is so nice and great nick as well. Let's just make sure I'm not missing anything else. No, I think that's it. Right, let's get everything on the table and take a closer look. Okay, folks, so let's start with the wax pack and the t-shirt. So we have got, what did I say it was? A 1988 Topps wax pack of Dinosaurs Attack. Now, you get cards in there, you get a sticker, and you get a free stick of bubblegum. Now, Mark wants me to try the bubblegum. I might try it, but 35-year-old bubblegum may not be particularly tasty. But not only did we get that, we got the t-shirt from Mark's podcast. And now it's difficult to get it all on camera, but I've got the image on there, and how cool is that? So Sci Fi Malady, Catch the Sickness, ravinglunaticmedia.com. So again, Mark runs a great podcast. I will leave a link in the description. If you enjoy a podcast, check it out. I know Mark will be very, very grateful to have you. But that is an awesome t-shirt, Mark, and I'm going to wear that on the intro to my next video. But yeah, so pleased to get that, mate. That is so cool. But let's go see what else Mark sent us. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the glass and the lovely Luke Bespin that Mark sent. But look at this Burger King glass. So obviously, I assume back in the day when you went into Burger King, you could get these with meals and things like that. I don't know how it worked, but we've got a little bit of bio about Lando Calrissian on the back. So this is a Lando glass. I'm assuming you can get others in the collection. But just look at those images on the front. This is so cool, and I may now have to track down the others in the collection, but just look at that image of Lando there with that famous Empire Strikes Back logo. And as we go around, we've got Leia there with the twin pod cloud car flying by, and then we've got Han Solo in the bottom corner there. And this is so nice. I don't know if I'm going to use this. I'm tempted to use it, but I think it's just going to go on my Empire shelf. But wow, that is such a nice piece. So thank you, Mark. I love that. But if that wasn't enough, who came tucked up safe and sound inside the glass? But of course, this guy. So if you're going to send a gift to Reynolds Reviews, of course you have to send a Luke Bespin. So, and as you can see, he's already got a blaster now and a saber. I've always got them spare because, of course, if ever I get any Luke Bespins, I always need a blaster and a saber for him. And he's going to go proudly on my Luke Bespin shelf, Mark. Thank you. And that is my favourite head sculpt as well. I love that colour hair and that face sculpt. And his limbs are super stiff, everybody. Really stiff limbs, and his paint is great as well. So that is a really nice example of Luke Bespin. Attached lightsaber. Yeah, let's just take a look at the COO. Can we see that? And that is a Hong Kong version. But yeah, absolutely beautiful example of Luke Bespin. So thank you, Mark. Your generosity is just too much, mate. But I love those. And again, they will go proudly into my collection. But there's more, everyone. So let's go see what else Mark sent. And there we go. So also what Mark sent us was a first issue #1 DC mass comic. This is the US version. I don't have any of these. I do collect the UK Fleetwood versions. But wow, look at this. Absolutely awesome. Where best to start as well if you're going to start picking these up, but #1. So 75 cents in America, $1 in Canada, and 40p in the UK. But just look at this. Now, I have taken it out of its packet and had a quick look, but I put it back in because I didn't want to handle it too much. Not that they're particularly rare. I just want to make sure that it stays nice, because look at that. I mean, look at that front cover. What an amazing image of Matt Tracker. We've got Bruce Sato in Thunderhawk there.
and Miles Mayhem in Switchblade. Looks like they're attacking Boulder Hill. We've got Rhino coming out of Boulder Hill, but oh my life, that is an absolutely beautiful cover. And the mask logo is like an orange rather than a yellow, which is really weird to see because I'm just so used to seeing it in yellow, so seeing it in a different colour, but it just looked great. And it is a really nice comic. Like I said, I have opened it and had a few, just a little bit of a browse of the story in there and some of the images, but it really does take me back, stuff like this. Like I say, I don't remember if I had this in the UK when I was a kid, but it just looks amazing. And I'm so pleased. I can't wait to give it a proper read, but then it will be going back safe and sound into its packet because I really want to make sure that it stays pristine. And of course, because it was a gift, these things mean that little bit more, but yeah, really great to look inside it and just see what's going on in there, but I'm absolutely buzzing to get that. So that will be treasured and added to my ever-growing mask comic collection. But Mark, once again, thank you. This is amazing. I love it so much. But yeah, but again, that's not everything Mark sent. Let's go finish off with the final and what I would say was the focus piece of the gift box. And finally, we have got Motu Origins Hordak. Now, this is a figure that I did want in my Motu Origins collection. Now, I know you'll be thinking that I've said, notably in the last few weeks, that I'm slowing down on modern lines. Now, I'm going to focus on vintage and I'm easing off modern lines, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to collect anything modern. I've said that. I'm still going to pick up the odd modern item here and there, but Motu Origins I've slowed down because they just keep going. There's no real end to it. And it's all figures now that I don't really recognise. We're into Mattel Creations and massive pre-orders, and I just don't have the time and inclination to go after those, because once they get into figures that I don't recognise, I've got no desire to collect them. I only really want the figures that I recognise and that I remember from childhood. And one noticeable absentee from my Origins collection was Hordak, and I did want Hordak because I remember him from childhood, and he was just one figure that I'd not managed to get. So I've said I will still pick up Origins figures if I see them at the right price and it's a figure that I remember, that I'm familiar with. Otherwise, that's it for Origins as far as I'm concerned. But this guy is definitely one that I wanted, so thank you, Mark. And I think the Motu Origins version of Hordak just looks great. It just looks really sinister, evil, and obviously very much like the vintage one, but I just think it looks a cleaner figure. It looks a little bit more sharp and a little bit more crisp, and I just think he looks awesome. So yeah, very pleased to get Hordak in my collection. I think he just looks wicked cool, man. I really do. And if I'm honest, at the moment, I can't think of any more Origins figures that I'd like. I mean, I'm sure there are some that I remember that I haven't got in my collection yet. And like I said, I will pick them up at the right price if I find them, but he's awesome. And then taking a look at the back of the card, as always, we've got that beautiful artwork at the top of the card, which we get on all Motu Origins figures. We've got some more figures underneath there that we can get in the line. We've got Ninja there. We've got Triclops, Stratos. I have got those, so I'm really pleased with that. And then at this side, we've just got a little image showing you the function of the bow and the function of Hordak himself. But yeah, absolutely loving this. So yeah, once again, thank you, Mark. He will go lovingly into my Motu Origins collection. And that works out really well, actually, because I've got 11 figures and I've got 6 on one side and 5 on the other. So it's really messing with my OCD. So this means I can put Hordak on the other side and make an even display, which is going to really make me happy. Okay, so let's get everything back on the table and we'll wrap up. And there we are, folks. So once again, I just want to say a massive thank you to Mark Lorenzi. Mark, this is so generous, mate. I was not expecting this. I had no idea it was coming, obviously, but you are an absolute gent. So thank you again for the t-shirt for Mark's podcast. Again, remember, everybody, if you love a podcast, check it out. I will leave a link in the description. Mark would love to have you, I'm sure. We've got the Dinosaur Attacks wax pack with the chewing gum that I am considering trying. We've got the awesome Mask first issue comic of the DC US version. We've got Hordak from Motu Origins, and not forgetting the lovely Empire Strikes Back glass, which I think I'm going to try and pick up the others because the Boba Fett one looks beautiful. And of course, not forgetting an amazing condition Luke Bespin, who is going to go lovingly onto my Luke Bespin shelf and join the Luke Bespin army. So once again, Mark, a huge thank you. I am so humbled. I really am. I absolutely love everything. So once again, thank you so much. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, everyone. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by and giving me a shot. I hope you'll consider leaving a like and subscribing. And if you're one of my existing viewers and existing subscribers, thanks for sticking with me, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. I always try to read everyone's comments and get back to everybody. And as always, keep collecting. I'll see you next time.
Oh, fuck, that's awful.